Hey there, if you're enjoying this podcast, please take a moment to leave a review and to follow or subscribe. Don't forget to share with anybody that you think might be interested. Your support is greatly appreciated. Word of mouth is incredibly powerful, and it's the best way for us to reach more people and grow this wonderful community. Thanks again for listening. Hey there, Happy New Year, and welcome to a new season of Stop Time, Live in the Moment. If you're joining us for the first time, I'm so happy you're here. We have listeners from all around the world, and wherever you might be listening in from right now, I invite you to listen not for agreement or disagreement, but for insight, which quite literally means seeing inwards. And I've learned that one insight can change everything. More often than not, when we embark on something new or engage with something or someone that is unfamiliar, we limit ourselves by trying to assess the situation or person based on past experience, old data, rather than staying present and open to what actually is, and the notion that the unknown or previously unseen is exactly where possibility lies. So let's dig in. We're going to do an exercise, so grab a paper and pen if that's your vibe. Otherwise, you can just keep listening along. What will unfold in the year ahead of us is completely unknown. We don't have any control over knowing what 2025 will bring. But control it we try by pressuring ourselves to do better this time around or to achieve even more than we did last year. We're so afraid to drop the ball on our hopes and dreams that we set lofty goals and declare resolutions as we gather to watch the ball drop in Times Square and then count down from 10 until we're off again to the human race. So today, we're going to draw some awareness around what preconceived notions and expectations of the year we are tethering ourselves to that might be limiting our capacity to thrive. So take a moment, grab that pen and paper, and let's break this down together. What resolutions or goals have you made for this year? Go ahead and write them down and then read them back out loud if you can. For this exercise, you don't need more than 2 or 3, and if you only have 1, that's perfectly okay. So go ahead, take the time to write them down and then read them back out loud if you can. Now what I'd like you to do is rank them in order of doability on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being almost impossible and 1 being totally achievable. Draw attention to what, if anything, you notice while you're doing this. Does the goal that seems almost undoable inspire you to work harder, or does the challenge feel daunting and evoke a kind of low-frequency feeling in your body? It's always great to check in with your body. There's so many clues there. So when you're ready, I want you to look at each of these resolutions or goals and answer these questions. There are 3 of them. Now, if you prefer to do it just for one goal and then on your own time do this exercise with each of your goals, that's perfectly fine. All right, question number 1. Why is this resolution important to me? As you're considering this, you might want to consider context, why it's important to you right now. You might even sort of think a little bit about, will it be important to you 5 years from now, and so on and so forth. But whatever comes to mind, why is this resolution important to me? Go ahead and jot that down. You know, our why is so important. And often we get so caught in the rush of doing stuff and achieving that we forget our why. So it's a great exercise just to connect with why this resolution or goal is so important to you. Number 2, what value of mine does it connect to? So ask yourself, what value of yours does it connect to? Take a minute to check in with how this resolution checks in or serves a value of yours. Sometimes that's a hard one for people, so if you need to pause the track, no big deal. Number 3, if I achieve this goal, how will my life change? Ask yourself, if I achieve this goal, how will my life change? Okay? Now we're going to do a visualization here, so go ahead and put the paper and pen down. Even if you were writing, just stop for a second. And if you're able to, I just want you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine yourself having arrived at accomplishing your goal. Take a few breaths here, breathe it in, and stay here for a moment. You've arrived at accomplishing your goal. I want you to embody the feeling that achieving this goal brings. How does that show up in your body? Pay attention. Does it make you shiver? Does it make you relax? Does it fill you with warmth? Do you smell anything new? Do you feel warm? Think about colors. Just embody the feeling. Does it bring you joy? Does it make you feel proud? Does it make you feel grounded? You've achieved this goal. You might even imagine how your life has changed. Go ahead and visualize that. What would be different? How do you see things differently? Who are you surrounded by? What are you doing? And again, most importantly, I want you to embody the feeling that this visualization of achieving this goal brings. How does it feel? What value of yours is being expressed by achieving this goal? How does it align with who you want to be in the world every day? I'm going to ask that again. This feeling. What value of yours is being expressed by achieving this goal, which creates this feeling? And how does it align with who you want to be in the world every day? Not just when you're achieving. Now remember, there are no right or wrong answers here. There's no prerequisite for definitive answers, only created space for insight. Take a moment to float and swirl in anything that is coming up for you right now. No judgment, no epiphanies required, just allowance. Allow yourself to float and swirl in anything that's coming up for you without judgment, just noticing. And when you are ready, I will count backwards from 10. And when I reach 1, no balls will have been dropped. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. If your eyes have been closed, go ahead and open them. And now I want you to look at your goals or resolutions again and ask yourself honestly, if any of these goals have you tethered to the outcome rather than the feeling that you just embodied in our visualization. Again, you're going to look at your goals again and ask yourself, if any of these goals have you tethered to the outcome rather than the feeling that you just embodied in our visualization. And with this new level of awareness, adjust your list to reflect your connection to that feeling and to the expression of your value that created it. If any of these goals feel disconnected, let them go or recreate them in alignment with who you want to be in the world, with how you want to feel in the world. Take note of what you might be noticing. Have you considered that even though you may very well achieve your goals, that you might be limiting yourself to that beautiful feeling by linking it only to success with a if-then proposition? Are you living in scarcity now until you get there? I know that you will achieve your goal if that's something that's really important to you. But why on earth would you limit yourself in this way when pursuing your goals or following your dreams? Postponing this feeling to some future date and time that doesn't even exist yet. Go ahead and follow your dreams by all means. You know how to do it and what hard work and determination it will require. But why on earth put off until tomorrow what you can feel right now? I have just one more question for you, my friends. What's one small thing you can do today that honors that value and evokes that feeling? I hope you enjoyed this exercise, and if you'd like to share any of your insights, you can do that on the podcast in the comments for the episode. Let's get the conversation going. Feel free to reach out, share your insights. I'm Lisa Hopkins. Thanks so much for listening. Stay safe and healthy, everyone, and remember to live in the moment. If you enjoyed this episode, I invite you to dive deeper into cultivating a life of creative possibilities with my new book, The Places Where There Are Spaces. It's filled with personal stories and insights to help you embrace living in the moment. You can grab your copy by following the link in the show notes or wherever books are sold. Let's keep the conversation going and growing.